Barcelona pulled off the most impossible comeback in history. A real miracle went down at Camp Nou. It was just the round of 16 in the 2016-2017 Champions League, but the draw set up a historic showdown. PSG with Cavani, Verratti, and crew against Barcelona with the MSN trio. But the first leg turned out way different than many expected. Paris Saint-Germain nailed an impressive 4-0, and honestly, they could have scored even more. For many, Barcelona was already out of the competition, but there was one guy who hadn't given up: Neymar Jr. The return leg was at Camp Nou, packed with fans believing in the comeback. Right from the start, Suarez scored a header. Then there was an own goal, and Barca went to the locker room at halftime needing 2 more goals at least to force extra time. And then the third goal came. Neymar drew that penalty, and Messi converted it. They just needed 1 more goal when that happened. It was a shocker for the fans. Because of the away goals rule, Barcelona now needed to score 3 more if they wanted to advance, and there was no chance for extra time. But Neymar hadn't given up yet. He kicked off the greatest comeback of all time with that amazing free kick goal. A few minutes later, he scored another goal from a penalty kick. And then the score was 5-1. Barca just needed 1 more goal to pull off the historic comeback, and there were only a few seconds left when the ball landed at Neymar's feet. And in the last minute, the miracle happened. But that wasn't the best Champions League comeback. A miracle happened in the final in Istanbul, in the best match football has ever seen.
20 years ago, Carragher was a 7-year-old fan.
At the time, Liverpool and Milan were football powerhouses. The English team had Gerrard, Xabi Alonso, and Carragher, who were the main stars of the team. But they were still below Milan, the title favourite. The Italians had one of the strongest squads of all time. Dida in goal, the legendary duo Nesta and Maldini in defence, the midfield boasted Seedorf, Pirlo and Gattuso, and in attack, none other than Kaká, Shevchenko and Crespo. And this legendary team lived up to its billing and started stronger. They ended the first half of the final leading 3-0, with a goal coming in the first minute of the game, and that fantastic goal from Crespo. For many, Ancelotti's team would easily win another Champions League, but that's when the miracle began in Istanbul. The hero of this match was goalkeeper Dudek, whom many Liverpool fans used to dislike. Usually the goalkeeper didn't perform well in matches, but in that final, he was outstanding. It all started with that superb save from the free kick early in the second half, and then the Reds' comeback began. First with that headed goal. 2 minutes later, the second goal came from a rocket shot from outside the box. And suddenly, the fans began to dream of a turnaround. Just a few more minutes later, that penalty was awarded and converted by
Accomplished! Liverpool were 3-0 down 5 minutes ago!
In just 15 minutes, Liverpool managed to equalize the match. The rest of the game was absolute pressure from Milan to try to score the winning goal, but Dudek was on fire. The match ended up going to penalties,
Turned away by Carragher.
where Brazilian Serginho missed his kick from Milan.
First penalty from Milan. Oh! Not even close! Not even close!
And then Dudek appeared twice to save the penalties from Pirlo and Shevchenko.
He's done it! Terrific stop! The European Cup is returning to England!
And that's how the miracle of Istanbul happened.
The most extraordinary night of football has a most extraordinary finish. Andriy Shevchenko, who won the trophy. And this time it's for keeps. That trophy isn't going anywhere but Anfield. Liverpool become only the...
But there's a match that happened in Brazil that was a true clash of giants. Neymar against Ronaldinho Gaucho. Who was the winner? The game had everything. A goal under the wall, a hat trick, the goalkeeper doing tricks with the ball. It all happened in a Brazilian league match between Santos and Flamengo. Neymar's team ended the first half leading 3-0 with a stunning goal from number 11, who even won the Puskás Award that year.
Aí o Neymar protegeu, fez o drible, que lance do Neymar, que golaço!
Ronaldinho's team still had the chance to narrow the gap, but the striker missed that goal right under the bar. But it was only in the second half that the Wizard showed Neymar still had a lot of training to do to surpass him. He kick-started Ronaldinho's team's comeback with that goal. A few minutes later, the second goal came. The fans began to believe in the turnaround when a penalty was awarded, and the impossible happened. The goalkeeper not only saved it, but did so with style.
Felipe! O Elano tentou a cavadinha e o Felipe saiu fazendo embaixadinha depois. Elano perde o pênalti.
Ronaldinho seized the momentum and delivered a flawless cross for the striker to score the equalizer. The only problem for the Wizard was that on the other side, there was a Neymar who also wanted to win the match. The guy scored this amazing goal to put his team back in the lead, and that's when Ronaldinho switched on the Wizard mode. After that beautiful play, the star was fouled and worked magic with his free kick. The game was tied again, and shortly after, the Wizard appeared again to score a hat-trick and turn the game around. The match was so epic that it made headlines worldwide. It even caught the attention of Barcelona, who saw Neymar as a potential successor to Ronaldinho. And speaking of Barca, they were part of another epic comeback, but this time they were the victims. One of the semi-finals of the 2018-2019 Champions League was between Barcelona and Liverpool, a matchup that seemed poised to be balanced. The only problem for the English team was that Messi ended the first leg with this stunning free kick goal, leading Barcelona to a surreal 3-0 victory. To make matters worse, in the second leg, Liverpool had a bunch of key players missing. Out of their magical attacking trio, only Maine was fit to play. Firmino and Salah watched the game from the stands, but giving up was never an option for Jurgen Klopp's team. Just 7 minutes in, Origi scored that goal. After that, Barcelona started pressing, but the second goal of the match was scored by Liverpool. Early in the second half, Wijnaldum scored that goal, and a few minutes later he scored another one. Now Liverpool needed just one more goal to advance to the final, and it came in one of the most brilliant moments in football history. Alexander-Arnold spotted a gap in Barcelona's defense and delivered this amazing corner kick. That was the beginning of the end for Messi's Barcelona, and it was the game that put Liverpool in the Champions League final, where they would defeat Tottenham. But English football has an even better game than this, a match that drove the fans crazy. It was a semi-final showdown for a spot in the Premier League, and despite being a match from the second division, it's probably the most thrilling game in English football history. The match was between Leicester and Watford. The first leg ended 1-0 in favour of Leicester, meaning Watford needed to win by a 2-goal margin to advance directly. Watford started stronger and opened the scoring 15 minutes into the first half. Leicester defended as best as they could and tried to exploit counterattacks. Watford managed to score another goal, making it 2-1, but they needed one more goal. Time passed, tension mounted, and then disaster struck for Watford. At the 41st minute of the second half, the referee awarded a questionable penalty to Leicester. It was the golden opportunity for the Foxes to secure their spot in the final, but it's in the darkest moments that heroes emerge. Knockaert stepped up for the penalty and aimed for the left corner, but the goalkeeper pulled off this miracle save. But before they could celebrate, the ball rebounded, and the striker took another shot. Another incredible save. What happened next was surreal. Watford regained possession and launched a rapid counterattack to make history happen.
Here's Hogg! Deeney! Do not scratch your eyes!
It was an incredible goal, sending Vicarage Road Stadium into a frenzy. Watford players rushed to celebrate with the fans, who stormed the pitch. Leicester players fell to the ground, inconsolable. The referee blew the final whistle shortly after. Watford was in the playoff final with that epic victory. This was one of the most thrilling and unforgettable matches in English football history.